Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, dear brothers and sisters. This is an urgent message. It will help you protect your Ramadan fasting and make sure your fasting is accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I pray to Allah that you and me are called upon from the door of Jannah, Ar-Rayyan. Ameen. I will share with you pictures that we took this Ramadan of the True Fajr to make you aware of the time mistake that many Ramadan calendars have in the time for Fajr and Imsak, the start of fast.
Every start of Ramadan, Islamic centers around the US, they send out these calendars for Ramadan that shows you when Fajr is supposed to start or when your Imsak or start of fast should start. What's really troubling is that, for example, if you look at Wednesday, the 27th, one of them would go at 5:33 a.m. That's when you start your fast. The other one would go 5:34. Not that big of a difference, but others are actually going to start you fast at 5:19 a.m. That's about 15 minutes difference, meaning if one of them is correct, a lot of Muslims unintentionally are actually eating and drinking during the time of Ramadan, in the day of Ramadan. These calculations are based on what's called 15 degrees calculations or 18 degrees calculations. And it's basically how far or what's the degree below the horizon that the sun is at when you can actually see the Fajr. So it's below the horizon, before sunrise, how far the sun is supposed to be for you to see the Fajr. Okay, let's go and actually see our observation. Our first observation was on March 14th, the 4th of Ramadan, 2024, at Joshua Tree, which is east of Los Angeles. We went to actually on a dirt road all the way called Geology Tour Road, all the way to that area when it intersected with the California Riding and Hiking Trail. Here is the coordinate for that. Fajr for that place at the 18 degrees watt at 5:33, while Fajr at 15 degrees watt 5:47. We're talking about 14 degrees difference over here. This is the first picture. It's actually an early picture, just the baseline at 5:01 at 24 degrees below the horizon with the sun below the horizon. So this is what we call the baseline, where even at 18 degrees, it's not Fajr yet. The second picture is actually at 18 degrees at 5:33 a.m. And you can see, there is a start of Fajr happening over here. Just 1 minute later, you can see that Fajr is actually across the horizon. Just to, because someone was asking about false Fajr. False Fajr is the column that goes up. No, we're talking about Fajr, the light coming across the horizon over here. And that's at 5:34, 18 degrees, or 1 minute after 18 degrees, meaning if it, you can see over here that there is a mistake of 13 minutes. These calendars, the 15 degrees calendars, are making people, unfortunately, eat and drink during the day of Ramadan for another like 13 minutes. You can see over here, let's go to the next picture. This is at 16 degrees, and you can see the entire horizon is actually lit up. You can see the entire horizon, and unfortunately, that 15 degrees gives you, still tells you, you still have 5 minutes to eat and drink, unfortunately. Okay, this is at the 15 degrees, and you can see that Fajr has already risen all the way. Lights have actually filled up the entire sky. Okay, so you can see the difference. This is at 18 degrees. Light is actually starting all the way. You can see all the way from here, all the way across the horizon. At 15 degrees, it's too late. Fajr have been there for at least 13, 14 minutes. The second observation that we did was in March 18th in Mount Laguna, California, just east of San Diego. Again, here's the coordinates for it, and it's just a cliff that actually you can see the eastern horizon. And for that day, Fajr at 18 degrees was at 5:29. Fajr at 15 degrees was at 5:44. We're talking about 15 minutes difference over here. This is again just a baseline. You can see that unfortunately this area has a lot of light pollution. So you know the sky is, you can say, brighter because of all this pollution in the air. But we are at 19 degrees over here, and then once we go in 18 degrees, even with this light pollution, you can see that the sky is actually starting to light up. Actually, you can see even below this cloud, you can see you know that light seeping, which is most probably is the Fajr. So unfortunately, the calculation for the 15 will have you eat and drink for the next 15 minutes, unfortunately. Again, that's at 5:35 at 17 degrees. You can actually start seeing some of the redness in the sky. Of course, we're using this camera that actually captures more, the exposure takes more of the colors that you usually see. But again, 15 degrees, unfortunately, is 9 minutes away. Okay, this is at okay, so this is at 16 degrees, and you can see the entire sky is actually lit up. It's very bright, and as I said, there is, you know, some of this redness have already started seeping in, and we still have 6 minutes for Fajr at 15 degrees. Okay, so this is Fajr 1 minute away from Fajr at 15 degrees, and you can see that the sky is already very bright, which means that for sure Fajr at 15 degrees is wrong. It is just another comparison. We go to the last one, which is actually March 21st. Fajr was supposed to be at 5:25 for the 18 degrees, 5:39 for the 15 degrees. That's 14 minutes difference. This is the baseline, as you can say. Again, this is at 19 degrees. This is at 18 degrees. This is just a little bit, it's even hard to see because of, you know, the sky was not good for observation that day. But by 17 and a half, you can see that, you know, there is lights across the sky. And 15 degrees still have like this 12 minutes, you know, delayed. Okay. At 17 degrees at 5:29, you can see actually the brightness in the sky and even some of the redness in the sky. And you know, for 15 degrees, you still have 10 minutes. I mean, basically, it's telling you you still have 10 minutes to eat and drink, unfortunately, which would invalidate the fast. Okay, this is at 16 degrees, and you can see the brightness across the sky and even the redness actually spreading everywhere. And 15 degrees is, you know, 5 minutes still away. Okay, this is at the 15 degrees at 5:39, and you can see it's too late, about 15 minutes too late. The sky have already, Fajr have broken for a long time ago, 15 minutes ago. Here is the comparison between them. So I do have a more detailed video on my channel that, you know, I actually advise you, if you you know, to go actually and check it out. It actually goes into a lot of details that I just didn't want to include in this short video about the different fatwas from the major centers of Islamic fatwa and the major muftis around the Islamic world that actually defines the true Fajr as the first thread of light, the thin and fine line of white light that's hard to see and distinguish. Also, the things that we took, or the factors that we took when doing the observations. First of all, finding a dark sky, and then making sure that both the moon phase and the weather is not going to actually affect our observation. Also, this whole issue about the false dawn or false fajr tells you more about the difference between the false fajr, that column that's going up vertically, versus the true fajr, the light that's coming across the sky. So please go to the channel and actually watch that other more detailed video, and follow the channel so you can actually get more information that's inshallah going to be coming.
Okay, so after proving that 15 degrees is a mistake, 18 degrees is the correct one, what you need to do. Number one, go and check your Ramadan calendar and make sure to align it with the 18 degrees. Number two, reach out to your friends, share this video with them, family, and even people that you might not like. You're going to get the reward for that. Number three, reach out to your masjid. Make sure that they realign to the correct and reassess their timings. Number four, and this is more of a community thing, reach out to Islamic organizations that actually sometimes makes these decisions for us. And finally, I just ask you to please make dua for me, that Allah accept the work I've done, that Allah reward me for it, and that Allah forgive my shortcomings. And Jazakum Allah khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.